Hello, welcome back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit, I read Tarot intuitively, and today we have another timeless pick-a-card reading on what is your life purpose? Why are you here on Earth? So we have three piles to choose from. Pile number one, we have our Edmund Dulac Tarot. Pile number two, we have Tarot of the Witch's Garden. And pile number three, we have the John Bauer Tarot. So take a minute, see what pile is being called to you intuitively. The description box below will have the timestamp for your pile. And again, remember, these are general readings. So please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can always do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the Edmund Dulac Tarot, this is your reading on what is your life purpose. So we're asking angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended masters, star family today. What is my pile number one's life purpose? Okay, pile number one, we have the World card, we have Justice, we have Four of Swords, we have Knight of Pentacles, we have the Empress, we have the Death card, we have Tower, we have Seven of Wands, and we have Page of Swords. And we have a lot of major arcana in this reading. So I definitely feel, pile number one, you are very spiritual. And even if you are like a very worldly person, there is something very spiritual about even your earthly quests. And your life purpose here is very much to complete some very big karmic cycles. The reading starts with the world, and the world in the World card, the angel is quite literally transcending. So there is this sense of transcendence that you're going to be bringing as a quality to anything that you choose to do in your life, even if it is something super mundane and super worldly, yet it sort of has a very deep spiritual correspondence to it, what you're trying to do over here. And you're someone who's very blessed, and you just are very naturally balanced with the Justice card, and you just know how to distill the wisdom that you truly require from any given situation, so you don't stay stuck very, very long, pile number one. That's what I really feel over here. And I definitely feel you've had your fair share of difficulties and obstacles, but you still don't get swayed in who you are. You're very rooted in who you are. And I feel a lot of y'all just naturally meditate. We have the Four of Swords. So I feel a lot of y'all naturally fall into states of meditation without even realizing. Maybe it happens while a lot of y'all are daydreaming, things like that. And that really helps you, even if at times you feel like you're escaping and your daydreaming is really not helping you. It actually is, and it's helping you manifest things from your subconscious and from the higher realms much easily than if it was someone else. And again, we have the Empress, so it doesn't matter if you're male, female, anything in the middle. You are in this Empress energy, and it's in the center of the reading over here. So you're very good at creating and attracting things to you, because you just subconsciously understand the laws of creation and attraction, and you're very good at it. And you're even supposed to realize your divinity through it. I feel a lot of y'all in this file, you could be very, very passionate about something you do. I feel a lot of y'all are very creative over here. A lot of y'all want to write a book. A lot of y'all sing, make music, dance. Whatever you do over here, it's going to be very successful for you, because half the times I don't even think a lot of y'all realize what you're trying to channel through your art, and you're channeling something from higher realms, something that has never been created. So you're very good at that. You're very good at pioneering creatively and bringing things into the real world that no one could even think of before, because you're already so ascended, and you're gonna continue ascending to your divinity in this lifetime very much. And that is pretty much your life purpose over here. And very interesting, we have the Empress, which is card number 3, and we have the Death card, which is card number 13. And there is this sense of duality here as well, with the Empress being the source of creation, and Death being the middle point in creation to again transmute things. So you embody both. You embody this Empress energy, and you embody this Death energy, and that again makes you very polarizing. Not a lot of people like you, and I think most of the times it's because of the projections, because I don't think people understand your depth. You're very, very deep, and people only see the surface. People only see the ripples on the surface. They just see you as being very intense emotionally, but they don't really understand what truly backs up this emotional intensity, if that makes sense. And we have the Tower card followed by the Death. So again, you don't stay stuck very, very long. You don't stay in illusions very long. I would say a lot of people, they stay in illusions for lifetimes, and you're not like that. You're very good at sussing out the problem and attacking the core of it, and again, changing whatever the difficulty is in your favor, and you're very good at it. And it's almost like a very important tool that you have been blessed with, given the kind of destiny you have, because I do feel you're traversing very rugged terrain. It's very difficult to do what you do over here, pile number one, because you're not just transmuting your own energies. I do feel a lot of y'all are also transmuting just anyone and everyone in your immediate environment, or even online, whatever you choose to do over here. You're helping a lot of people here as well. And again, I do feel you do have a lot of difficulties, but I think it's just opportunities for growth over here. And I do feel even if you have multiple things coming at you, which I do feel happens often, you still have the upper hand. And I think you need to notice how you have just survived anything and everything that has gotten in your way. Nothing has made you stumble and nothing has made you stop. So I think this is something you need to, again, really validate within yourself and show gratitude as well, because you're very protected even if you're being put through hell. And even in the Buddhist concepts of the different kind of hells, there's always a guardian sort of guard there's always a guardian sort of showing you the way out of that realm of hell. And I do feel you are that for yourself, but you're also like that for a lot of people. You're like a walking talking spirit guide over here, is what I'm picking up. And I think you need to realize that no matter how deep your darkness gets, you always have a way to get out of that. And it's only in the darkness can you formulate the light as well. So I think you need to be okay being in that darkness with yourself for a long period of time. And I do feel a lot of y'all are okay with that. And just know that sometimes even that darkness it's a very important part of the creation process. It's the germination stage. So it's very important to even sort of honor that phase in your own personal life, if that makes sense, because you will be able to regenerate, if that makes sense. We have the Empress and the Death, so you're very good at renewal and regeneration, which not a lot of people are. And I feel a lot of y'all, even if you're very, very old, you still look very youthful, and you just have this very young sort of energy about you. And I do feel that is because you're very tapped in with the source. You're very close to source. That's why you're so neutralized, if that makes sense. There's nothing, even the bad things, I don't think they stay stuck with you very, very long, nor do you stay stuck with them, which is honestly a very big blessing over here, because it's almost like you mentally just know how to go into your past, get the knowledge you need, and even make peace with the reality that was, and understand that you're not operating from that space anymore, because things have changed for you for the better. And your life is only going to get much better as things go on for you. So there's this sense of rapture that I'm really getting from this world card as well. So I feel the more you follow your own inner calling, whatever that means for you. Her heart chakra is very bright over here. It's sort of lighting up from inside, and I do feel your heart is sort of the portal for you, if that makes sense, to again jump to the highest timeline for yourself over here. And with that, I also feel a lot of y'all who are single in this pile, I feel right now you're being asked to make certain investments, and just know that all those investments will pay off in a very major way that you can't even imagine for yourself. So I think you really need to be patient and trust the process and really enjoy it. To just really start enjoying where you are in your life right now, what you're creating, what you're building, and understand it's not so much the creation, but it's your ability to create. That is what you should be proud of. Yes, be proud of your creations, but even our creations, they don't last very long. And again, I'm getting this reference of the Tibetan monks who create these very intricate mandalas, and they take so much time to do that, and again they just sort of wipe it off. So I think that again sort of ties into what I'm trying to say over here, that you have to sort of just enjoy the act of creating for yourself, because that is very much your life purpose over here. And that will again take you to your highest timeline. You don't have to stay with things for very long, even if there are attachments. So you're going to naturally also learn how to detach from the things you're creating and focusing on the next thing. I think that's going to benefit you a lot, especially given the nature of your destiny over here. And I do feel that plays a very important role. And I feel a lot of y'all, I feel a lot of y'all have struggled even in the past. Y'all were trying to do something, or maybe some of y'all are still trying to do something where you're trying to do a conventional job. And I feel a lot of y'all are meant to create your abundance by doing something unconventional over here. So a lot of y'all are also meant to be in the public eye over here. So there's no running. Don't keep waiting for the perfect time. Don't keep waiting to get the perfect instruments to create your art. I think you need to start wherever you can, and you will be assisted on your journey of creation over here. You definitely have a lot of help from the unseen realms that are just honestly so eager to help you, but you sort of have to just do your bit and ask for help because it will be given. All you have to, for a lot of y'all, just what you forget to do is just you forget to ask. So please do that. And I feel I feel your legacy is coming out very, very strong over here. You're going to leave behind either a written legacy or an oral legacy. So whatever you choose to do, for a lot of y'all, you may leave behind both. But a lot of y'all are going to leave behind something that's going to last much beyond even your lifetime on this earth. And the impact you have, I don't think you will always see it for yourself, but it's going to be very positive and it's going to be very major. So I think you need to give yourself a little more credit with what you do and understand that what you share has a lot of inherent value. And it is only through that will you honestly realize your own divinity. That's how you will get closer to source, if that makes sense. I really feel that very strongly. And we have three of wands below the deck. So I feel a lot of y'all need to invest right now. You need to sow in those seeds and just know that everything that you're planting right now will be beneficial to you or someone else even in the distant future. So just have a more aerial point of view on what you're trying to create and try to zoom out and really see the bigger picture, if that makes sense for you over here, because that's going to help you again come back into balance. And I think a lot of y'all also need to really respect your own natural cycles. You cannot be creative and you cannot be productive all the time, and don't don't try to burn yourself out. I think that's also very important because you are very cyclical. I feel a lot of y'all are very super connected to the moon cycles, and the thing about being connected to the moon cycles is you again have to honor your different phases. You cannot be the full moon every day, if that makes sense. Some days you have to be a crescent moon. Someday you have to be a waning moon. So it's okay. Just allow yourself to show up at your best possible potential at that given time, and know that even if you feel exhausted and burnt out, you're going to feel better after a few days. So even give yourself a break if required. I think that's also very important over here, because understand what you're trying to create. It's not like a King of Wands energy. It's a very Empress energy. And King of Wands, he's very good at managing multiple things in a very short amount of time. And the Empress is she's more balanced with her creations. She's more regenerative with her creations. The King of Wands, he would basically burn out, right? Because he's sort of like a comet, he's sort of like a rocket, and it sort of fizzles out. It's very important to start that creation, but I think you're more in that sustaining the creation journey, if that makes sense. You're more focused on the sustainability of things. You could have any major Taurus placements, or you could have any sort of major Taurus placements over here as well. But even if you don't, you sort of understand this very Taurian energy of really understanding the very detailed mechanics of what it takes to really sustain something for a long period of time. And I think that is again a very beautiful gift you have. And oftentimes we don't really realize what gifts we have, because it's just the tools we have, right? We cannot always be self-aware of it. So I think it's very important for you to truly acknowledge that, and understand that not everyone is like you, therefore you're super special. I think you need to really acknowledge this within yourself. But I get it, you don't want to create a self out of your ego, but again, it does sometimes even get in the way of creation, right? So I think it's really important that you do have a sense of healthy ego whenever required, but when it's time to create, you're going to be able to create out of this egoless place, if that makes sense. So I think that's very beautiful for you, and I think this is something you understand. And I feel even with your creations, the more you meditate, the more beneficial it will be for you. The quality of your work will improve, even the caliber of your work will improve. So I think meditation is going to be just a great conductor in whatever you're trying to do over here. It's going to really help you energetically ascend as well. Shuffle some oracle. Anything I missed? We have the black bear, guardian. Gentle and wise protector, give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love, awaken my intuition and guide me. So we have the black bear over here, and it really speaks of guardianship. And a mama bear is super super protective of her baby bear, right? So I do get the sense of you're really trying to guard whatever you're trying to create, and it's okay for you to do that because your work is the most vulnerable, your creation is the most vulnerable in the beginning stages, right? It's sort of the foundational work that you're doing. So again, you need to really enjoy that. And again, my eyes are going on the worker bee over here in the card. So what you're creating is going to affect, like I said, a larger amount of people that you come in contact with in in the future or in the present, even in the past. I feel a lot of people, even from your past, are really having an eye on you, but you're going to be able to again transform very beautifully to higher dimensions, if that makes sense. And it's all going to simultaneously work out for you. Your art is going to get more beautiful, you're going to spiritually ascend, and the caliber of your work is going to improve. So right now it's really important that you put in the work. And my eyes are also going to the blue chickadees in this card. So, and they're very cute and they're very pretty. So I do feel you have a lot of divine help also with what you're trying to do, and you're not alone in bearing all this weight on yourself. So please remember that. And I think the more you ground yourself, if you can walk bare feet on grass, nothing like it. But in whatever way you can ground yourself, please do it. I think that will again just make things easy for you. It will make this transformation easy for you. You're not going to suffer as much internally, if that makes sense. Even if you have the resilience for it, you don't have to do that. You have to work smart at times. You don't always have to work hard. So I think that's also really important for you over here, pile number one. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number. Once again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot, it helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number two. If you chose Tarot of the Witch's Garden, this is your reading on what is your life purpose. So we are asking angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended masters, star family today, what is my pile number two's life purpose? Okay, pile number two, we have Ace of Wands, we have Queen of Cups, Two of Wands, we have the Death card, we have Hangman, Five of Cups, Ten of Wands, the Empress, and we have Six of Swords. And again, we have Empress in pile number two as well. We had Empress in pile number one as well. So my collective is very divine feminine, is what I'm really picking up over here, firstly. And I'm really happy with that. I definitely feel that is my core audience, if that makes sense. So I think your femininity is very tied in with your life purpose over here as well, because we have the Queen of Cups and we have the Empress, and that is like super fem energy, but it is very powerful feminine energy. I feel a lot of y'all could be tarot readers, astrologers, you could be occultists, tarotists, you could be very interested in the metaphysics, if that resonates with you. But you definitely have this very spiritual bend to you, even if you are a very worldly person. I feel a lot of y'all in this pile as well, you could have had a very worldly job for a very long time, but later on you became more spiritual, and I think a lot of y'all will have spiritual careers as well over here. And I think right now we're very much in your planning stages as well. And I think it's very important. We have the Ace of Wands and we have Two of Wands. So, and on the Two of Wands card, she has a crystal ball in her hand, and this is Tarot of the Witch's Garden. So you're definitely a little witchy, or if that is something you want to explore, I would say really go for it, because it's definitely tied in with your life purpose over here as well. And I do feel this pile particularly, you're going to experience your divinity by study. I think study is very important over here. I'm hearing neophyte, so I think a lot of y'all are students of magic, alchemy, yoga, philosophy, whatever you choose to study over here. It's very important. And I think you also need to understand that you will be attracted to different things at different stages in your life, and all of that is very important on your life purpose journey over here. And I do feel your life purpose is very spiritual in nature. I feel a lot of y'all may want to eventually have more solitude and maybe live in the forest, something like that, live by the sea. But again, the Six of Swords card is really jumping out to me here as well. So I think you need to understand that you're going to experience your own sort of divinity through your own life experiences, and even your horrible life experiences have been set up in a way for you to get the most from it spiritually. And I do feel this pile you have been gone through at this pile particularly, I do feel you have been put through some very difficult initiations to even be where you are at right now, and it's not easy. The sort of spiritual rigorous initiations, they're not easy at all, and most people cannot survive it. But if there's someone who can do it, pile number two, it's you. So I think you really need to understand that you are sort of in the big leagues. And I feel in this pile particularly, I feel a lot of y'all always wanted to have a spiritual teacher or a guru or someone to look up to, and I don't think you've always had that. Maybe a lot of y'all don't even have, maybe a lot of y'all in this pile lacked a parent or something like that, or maybe your teachers weren't quite there. But whatever it is, I feel a lot of y'all in this pile really had to be that teacher, be that parent for yourself. It's almost like you had to be your higher self for yourself, because you really didn't have a lot of support. But I think that has made you so well-rounded in everything, I would say. So any sort of difficulty, it will not take you out. And I think this is also something that pisses off your haters. And I do think a lot of y'all do have a very polarizing personality here as well. And I do feel all of that is also a part of your life purpose over here. And you're supposed to even trigger and inspire people. It really depends who's getting triggered and who's getting inspired on how much have they really met themselves at, right? People only understand you according to the depth that they only see themselves at. And not a lot of people see themselves that deeply. So they will project their own sort of limited versions of themselves onto you. So I do feel I do feel a lot of people have been put on your path where you have no choice but to. I do feel a lot of people have been put on your path where they feel they didn't have any choice but to ascend. And I feel the more you give, the more you are able to really give your love, your knowledge, whatever you have to share, the more it will come back to you. So I think it's very important over here that you understand that you will be a perpetual student. Coming back to what I was saying, be a neophyte. You will always have something where you will be a beginner again when it comes to learning. But all you have to do right now is know that you know enough to share, and whatever you have to share, it will be channeled divinely for you. So whatever you're creating over here, it's going to be very beautiful. Firstly, it's going to be very aesthetically pretty, but it will also have a very functional use, and you're going to be helping a lot of people ascend as well. And we have the death card and we have the hangman, and I do feel you will be put through a lot of ego deaths over and over again. And I think that tests your spiritual impeccability to see how much can you be truly given, how much can you take. So I feel tests for you will never really end, and I do feel they'll get more difficult as time passes, but that is what you need for spiritual growth. So I think you really need to take things in strides, and not take a lot of things personally. I think that is going to benefit you a lot. And you're not going to be swayed very easily with good or bad things. You'll be more centered in experiencing everything. You're going to be experiencing the full spectrum of human existence, the pain and the beauty, all of it, in a very intense and a very deep sort of way, which I totally relate to your pile number two. And it's very beautiful. It's almost like you see all the colors that people miss. You see all the clouds that people miss. You see the signs, you see the tiny birds, you see all those things that people just miss out because you have this very perceptive ability. A lot of y'all could be very clairvoyant in this pile, and I feel a lot of y'all do have psychic abilities in this pile, and the psychic abilities can be very tricky, right? Because half the times you feel you're like delusional until you really have an awakening, which really helps you remember who you are. And I do think spiritual gifts, they come in phases. It doesn't just come right away. Your intuition is not going to go to 100 right away. First you may get like 15% of it, then you'll get 7%, then you'll get 2%, then you'll get 50%. So it all comes in phases, and it comes after these very difficult initiations, and it just slips in. It's almost like you have naturally updated your iOS just because of all the difficulty you have gone through, if that makes sense. So you're definitely leveling up spiritually also. And I do feel that really ties in very majorly with your life purpose over here, even if you are a very worldly person. There is this sort of very intrinsic connection to the divine even in a very real world sense, whatever you choose to do over here, it really has that spark. It really has that divine fire within, and it really glows. It really glows from within you. And my eyes are going on to the pomegranate on the stick of the Empress, and pomegranates are very symbolic of the underworld, but also fertility. So I do feel you have a lot of phases where you have to go into your darkness. You really have to sort of go deep into the abyss. And I do feel that again, it's all tied in with your spiritual initiation, because that gives you more luminosity to shine. That gives you the divine knowledge to even share with a lot of people. And I do feel y'all struggle with boundaries. I think you do get gaslit easily, so I think you need to be more aware of your triggers. Anytime something is triggering you, I think you just need to really acknowledge it, and sort of naturally create a space through meditation, or just learning to center and make yourself still, where you're not having a very intense reaction to whatever is happening around you, but you're able to respond from a much higher place, if that makes sense. And it's very possible for you to do over here, so don't underestimate that within yourself. I think that's very important as well. So I feel a lot of y'all, like I said, there's a very transitional nature to your existence, which is to everyone's existence too, right? But I feel you experience that very in a very self-aware kind of way. You're very aware of it. It even the transients, even the tiniest things that most people, like I said, don't see. You almost have a very clear memory of it, and you could even astrally be very powerful. It would be very easy for you to astrally travel, because I do feel your higher chakras are very developed, and it would be even more difficult for you to be grounded. So being grounded for you is going to be super important as well, because it's going to help you even channel even better the more you're rooted in who you are and your duality and your willpower. So don't always be nice, if that makes sense. I do feel a lot of y'all in this pile are super nice, and sometimes people do take advantage of you, but then they realize that they shouldn't have done that. So I do feel a lot of people get very intense karmic repercussions for messing with you. But I think you need to just acknowledge your own sort of renewal. My eyes are going to the snake again. So you have to understand that you will have these phases where you will have to shed skin to become a more powerful being. So give into that sense of death, that metaphorical death, with joy, and understand that it is taking you very far away. I feel this pile particularly, your ancestors are also very close to you. My eyes are going on the crows on the death card. So these intense transformations you will be guided through, and the most difficult thing to give up is your own ego. And I feel that's why we have the hangman. And hangman also signifies yogic practices. So meditation, yogic practices, I feel it will definitely benefit you. Reiki, it will definitely aid you in your practice. I said this in pile number 1 as well, but I'll say it here again, because my eyes are going to the house at the back of the Ten of Wands card, and she's sort of having to leave it. So you need to understand that it's not so much what you're creating, but it's your ability to create. That is your superpower. So don't get very attached to what you're creating. And I gave the example in pile number 1 of the Tibetan monks who create these very beautiful, intricate mandalas, which take hours to create, but then they sort of have to destroy it. So understand that even if certain things that you created were taken away from you, even if you have been wronged or whatever, it you will get something better in its place. And it's not so much what you created, but it is your ability to create, and you can create something even more beautiful the next time around. So I think that is what you need to come back to. You need to come back to your own sense of creating things, and really enjoying that process of being where you are right now, and not focusing so much on the end result, and really embodying your own sort of duality. I do feel this pile particularly, you do have this sense of going into the underworld, going into the abyss, going into and retracting within your dark paths, which sort of allow you to even illuminate yourself further. Even the most beautiful and the brightest stars, they need the darkest skies, right? So I think you do understand this, and there is you will always be renewed. So even if you feel bogged down, if you feel very heavy, if you feel exhausted, if you feel you're at the end of the road over here, just know that things will improve for you, and you will again be in a more fortunate time in your life. Even if right now things seem very slow, and things seem to be taking forever, and even if a lot of things are just going wrong, even if things are not going your way right now, you really need to enjoy and trust the process because it's going to benefit you so much. Really allow yourself to grieve if that's what is coming up for you. So don't let yourself be stuck emotionally. I think that's also a very important message over here. You really need to set yourself free emotionally and grieve, because it is only through your heart that you will be able to access these higher dimensions for yourself. And all of this, I feel, is very much tied into your life purpose, because your life purpose is realizing your divinity through doing these very intense spiritual practices, if that makes sense, in whatever way you choose to go about doing it, that is. And you will be able to push through whatever it is. Nothing is going to keep you stuck very, very long. So please keep that in mind. And I feel a lot of y'all are also making peace with your inner child. So I think that is also very beautiful over here. And I do feel your inner child is really with you and is really proud of you. So I think you also need to forgive yourself for the past, especially things that have happened in your childhood over here. I think that's a very important message here for someone. So only take that if it resonates. Yeah. Shuffle some oracle. Did I miss anything for pile number 2? Wow, we have the hummingbird and we have the raven. The hummingbird reads miracles. You are a joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Your energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracles of happiness. And you have this ability to take out the nectar from the most bitter situations. And it is a gift. You have this alchemical gift of really transmuting bitterness to sweetness. And don't underestimate this. This is very powerful. And like I said, this pile is a little witchy, is a little psychic, and we have the raven, which is the shaman card. And ravens and crows, they're like very special to me. So I do feel this is my pile. And the raven card reads, "You are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is a power in your wisdom and your words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void." Exactly what I've been saying about the abyss. Claim your place as a keeper of the mysteries. So a lot of y'all will be in very powerful positions, because the Raven card, I rarely get it in my readings. So I do feel that is very significant, and I do use this deck very often in most of my readings because I really love using this deck. And the Raven is a very trickster energy, but it's also a very magical energy, and it has this way of shape shifting and it helping you again create the world that you really want. And like I said, gliding over the void. So even embracing your darkness and just your ability to create out of that darkness. So I don't think you need to underestimate this. I feel a lot of y'all may be called to, like I said, study. Ravens are also a lot about magical studies. So I think focus on that. If you want to study runes, study that. If you want to study tarot deeply, study that. Kabbalah, yoga, whatever you want to do, just dive into it, because even even your interests, even your hobbies, even the kind of things you just like, there's a deeper reason to it. So keep chasing it. Keep going down that rabbit hole, because firstly, it'll be very effortless for you because you already like doing what you're doing, and it'll be much easier for you to focus and actually gain true wisdom out of it by shapeshifting into whatever you're doing right now. So I think that's very, very powerful over here with the Raven. And I do feel your ancestors are very much with you. They're guiding you, they're protecting you, they're showing you the way. They're also giving you access to a lot of knowledge that was kept away from you because you were just not ready for that kind of awakening. But I feel a lot of y'all are super ready now. So I would say just go all in, and don't worry, don't fear. There's nothing to be scared of. I think a lot of spiritual knowledge is gatekept by making it super scary and inaccessible to people. But the sort of age we live in right now, you have no excuse to be ignorant. So I would say don't worry about fumbling, because you will be protected. You will really be protected in your magical practices as well. So I would say really jump in and really create what you want in a very magical way, because that is what your life purpose is. You're supposed to use your gifts. You have these spiritual gifts for a reason. You were always different for a reason. And I think the more you do this, the more you start walking your own path, the more of your past will also start making sense to you. So I really feel that is super important and super powerful over here. And I feel a lot of y'all are also meant to speak, even your �K𝐜𝐤, your voice, your throat, there's something very liberating through that. You help a lot of people by just talking to them. So use your voice for the good. I think that is also the most important message over here. But you have so much to look forward to, pile number two. I really feel your life is just gonna get so much more grand and so much more beautiful than it already is. And if you already aren't there, just know that you will get there, and already start being grateful for anything you have right now, even the smallest things. Be super grateful, so you will be blessed super abundantly. Yeah. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number two. So again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for private reading. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number three. If you chose the John Bauer Tarot, this is your reading on what is your life purpose. So we're asking angels, ancestors, spirit guides, silent master star family today, what is my pile number three's life purpose? Okay, pile number three, we have Three of Cups, we have Four of Swords, Two of Wands, Five of Swords, we have Page of Wands, we have Knight of Cups, Four of Pentacles, the Devil, and we have Eight of Swords. So I feel your life purpose has a lot to do with traveling. I think growing up you had to move a lot, or you or even if you were in one place growing up, you always wanted to travel. There is a lot about movement over here, and I do feel it is also tied in with your past life here as well somehow, because in your this lifetime, your life purpose has a lot to do with traveling. So I think you may just naturally get very lucky when it comes to traveling, or you have traveled and seen a lot of places. And I do feel it's not just you're not just traveling in like a very worldly sense. I do feel it's sort of a spiritual pilgrimage over here for you to wake up to a deeper reality about who you truly are. And I do feel in sort of seeing a lot of places and traveling, I do feel that will unlock something deep within you, something very beautiful, and something which is very pure within you. I think it will awaken, because you will really start to really see yourself within anything and everything, no matter how different it is than you. And I think this is very much tied in with your life purpose over here, because you're almost realizing your own sort of divinity through everything around you. And it's sort of like this equal exchange of you putting energy outwards, but it's somehow coming back to you. And I feel the more you travel, the more you are in this wanderlust energy, the more it'll help you ascend spiritually to higher levels over here. And I do feel you're supposed to be very enterprising also. You're always supposed to look out for and scout for new areas where you can expand. I think that is also very important over here. So I feel a lot of y'all will eventually move out of your country where you're living right now. I feel a lot of y'all may settle somewhere else than where you are right now. And again, I really feel traveling is coming out very strongly over here. And I think you have forgotten how to be romantic about things. I'm not saying romantic in like a lovey-dovey way, but I mean just romanticizing your life and being very daydreamy and being very idealistic about things. So I think you really need to you really need to go back to that space within yourself where you're very whimsical and just daydreaming about the places you want to travel to. Because even if you feel you don't have the money, I do feel it'll be given to you. The visa thing will work itself out. So don't worry about that. You really need to come back to this place of innocence within your heart, because that will naturally help you navigate to your true life purpose and being at the right place at the right time. I do feel destiny is going to be a very major thing for you in your life, but all you have to do is really show up and do the kind of work that needs to be done for yourself. And I would say be a little meticulous with your spending. Don't spend like crazy. If you really want to travel, at least start saving at your end. If you really want to take even a short trip or whatever it is, I feel a lot of y'all may even feel called to change countries altogether, or you want to go live somewhere else. It is going to happen for you. If it's not even happening right now, it will happen in the near future. And again, I've been just going on and on about movement in this pile, and I've never really gotten that in a reading before. So it definitely feels like a newer energy to me, because this is so like not my energy. I love being a homebody, but I feel a lot of y'all may in this pile may even have been a homebody for a while, and you have these phases where you're never to be seen, and then there are phases where you're just out and about the whole time. So you are like this flower opening and closing here as well, is what I'm getting. So I think you need to just honor your own cycles as they come, as they are, and understand that you're not always going to be super extroverted and you may not always feel like traveling, but there may be times when you want to travel for months. So I think just naturally allow yourself to feel what you're feeling in that moment, and that will be the right choice to make, because you will just know what to do at that time. So don't keep yourself very confused. Don't keep yourself in this defeatist energy, if that makes sense, because there's so much exploration waiting to just happen by you, and there's so many things that only you can discover. There's so many things that only you can see, which are really unseen till you really see them and acknowledge them as they're real. We'll take that as confirmation. But I think it's really important that you even fall out within yourself, and allow yourself to be rebuilt in whatever way you circumstantially require to be rebuilt. Then I think that's very important, and I do feel you've let go of a lot of parts of yourself because you just had to fit into certain situations and circumstances, and you're going to be able to call all those lost parts within yourself back to yourself. So just know that that is also going to happen for you, and you have to meditate and put in that focus to call those parts back to yourself. And I do feel it's almost like you're being divinely inspired to take action to whatever it is that you all will be choose to be doing over here. And it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everyone. But whatever you do over here, just know that it's meant to be. And I'm getting a lot of protection around you. So I think you need to really start living your life as if you were like the king's son or the king's daughter. I think you really need to start living like that, because how would you truly live your life if you had nothing to fear, if there was no hesitation for you, if you were not in mortal danger in any sort of way? Start living like that, because you have so much spiritual protection by number three. And yeah, everyone has spiritual protection, but people who are supposed to work with spirit and do certain things as a life purpose, they have extra protection to guide them through those difficult, challenging times. And again, my eyes are going to the moose on the Eight of Swords card and the ghostly figure on the Four of Swords card. So you have a lot of spiritual protection, and you have your ancestors quite literally walking with you hand in hand, like in Three of Cups. So you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. And I feel a lot of y'all may even feel called to go to a forest. So I think that is also something you need to do, because I think, again, it'll just activate you. It'll give you those certain activations that you need spiritually, or even that magical, beautiful idea that you need in your business, in your work, in whatever you're trying to, even in your startup, whatever you're trying to create over here. I think it's very important that you just flow with where life asks you to flow. And I think it'll benefit you way too much than if you had stayed stuck. And you would rather fail 10 times than to be regretting doing something that you really wish you could have done, but you never did, and you didn't take that chance on yourself. So I think you really need to trust yourself more, and really just know, because there is this deep sense of knowing as well. There is this sense of clear cognizance as well. You just know what you have to do, even if it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. And not everyone will get your vision, not everyone shares your vision, not everyone is on that same level to understand and comprehend what you're doing, what you're trying to do. So I do think people may eventually come around when they see you being more successful than what you are, because you actually paid attention and you followed your heart's calling. And I feel a lot of even your difficulties are been orchestrated in a way for you to get the most out of that situation. Even if it's a karmic situation, you're going to learn so much. Focus on that. Don't focus on the loss. I think that's also very important over here. And it's just a message you should forever keep in mind with the things that you will gain and lose even in the future, to really have the sense of detachment, which is not having a positive or a negative charge to anything, not being hopeful or fearful about anything, and really transcending that duality by being both of those things at one point in your life. It's only through a deeper understanding can you set yourself free. And it's not about having the right feelings and the right thoughts. It's not that. It's deeper. It's an experience itself. So you cannot get nirvana by just a thought. It's sort of a result of a direct experience that you have been trying to cultivate for yourself for a long period of time. So I think you need to apply this principle to anything you choose to do, and really stay with it. And there will be times when you will be called to do the boring, the very hard work, but it'll be very beneficial for you, and it'll be very successful as well. And with this pile, I really want to say new levels, new devils. The more you ascend spiritually, the more difficult your ops will get, if that makes sense. The more haters you will also have, but you should take that as a sign that you're doing something right. You're on the right path. And sometimes when you're glowing this beautifully, you will trigger a lot of people who really haven't made peace within themselves. And when people see you doing well, when people see you happier, obviously they're going to feel a way when they were really trying to bring you down. So I do feel you have a lot of this negativity around you, but it's not going to affect you. And I have a lot of tarot readers that come to me for tarot readings, which I'm really grateful for. You can definitely reach out if you want to for a tarot reading. My details are given in the description box below. But what I'm trying to say over here is I have a lot of tarot readers who come to me for readings, and they feel that they're hexed. They feel that they have some evil eye on them or whatever. And to that, what I really want to say is you are the most superior magician. You're the most superior witch. So nothing can really affect you. Raise your vibration. Focus on that. Don't focus on don't give something more energy and emotions to the bad things that are trying to pull you down. Focus on the good, and multiply your energy in that area. And trust me, it will not even affect you. So no evil eye or whatever is very real, and unless you give it power, unless you give it your emotions, right? It's literally energy that you give something to animate it. So I think that's something you need to be mindful about, and be mindful about the fact that even the most horrible experiences, you did sort of want to experience them so you could really understand your own reality. So don't push away anything. Don't push away the good, the bad, the ugly. All of it is very important for your spiritual growth. For example, we all, like, for me, I really find cockroaches very icky. Like, I see a cockroach, it really freaks me out, even though I'm not scared of like a lot of other bugs and things like that, but cockroaches really freak me out. But they do play a very important role in like the ecosystem in the bigger picture. So just because I don't want them around me doesn't mean that they're not good. And maybe the world wouldn't be the same without cockroaches. Who knows? I mean, I still don't like them, and I still think they're very weird and icky, but they do have a function to play in this world. That's why they exist. And I don't know why did I even say that. That was just so random, but yeah. So whatever you're scared of, I think why I said that was whatever you're scared of, that is exactly sometimes you need for your growth. And being able to integrate that, and even the kind of people you hate, for example, just see that there is still something within them that resembles you, and maybe that is something you're disliking. So a lot of introspection, a lot of reflection, a lot of introspection is going to be very important for you. See, no matter how many tarot readings you listen to, no matter how many psychics you go to, no matter how much you do, but you have to really go within and introspect for yourself. You have to cross-examine anything and everything that is being said to you with your own reality, with what is happening in your life, with your own personal direct experience. So I think the more you're able to do the work, the more rewarding it will be for you. And I do feel a lot of y'all in this pile are very single. Maybe you were very alone growing up. So know that it is in your destiny to meet the right people. You will really be loved and be seen for who you truly are, and you're going to have a very amazing romantic partner. But not just that, you're going to have a lot of loving friends around you as well. So even if your life feels very bad, and even if it feels very difficult, even if it feels just just very difficult to get through, but you will be able to do it. And I think you need to go back to your innocence. You need to go back to your childlike self. You need to focus and really think about what is it that you were doing in your childhood that made you really happy, and go back to that and realize that there was something much deeper happening than what you realized. So I think the more you're able to introspect, the more the answers will also come to you over here. And pay attention to the signs, because you are getting a lot of signs. You're being guided quite literally. So don't underestimate any of that. You're exactly where you need to be, and you are growing. I feel a lot of you in this pile may even have certain addictions. So understand that you're doing something very deep ancestral by getting rid of those addictions. So be gentle with yourself, but also give yourself the tough love when required. Be in that beautiful balance within yourself. Create it for yourself. Be in this inner harmony, because you can do it. You can really do it, pile number 3. If there's someone who can do it, it is you. You wouldn't even survive this long, right? So understand that there is a deeper reason for why you are even here. and you have so much abundance and so much beauty coming into your life that you can't even imagine. And like I said, travel more. I think traveling is going to be very helpful to you. Like not everyone has to go up in the mountains and be a hermit. For some people, in their destinies, it is traveling and seeing the world, and really finding God through those experiences. And I really feel that is the case for you, pile number three. The more you're daring, the more you're able to go into uncharted territory, the more beneficial and more rewarding those things will be for you. The fear will be more rewarding for you. Yeah. Shuffle some oracle. Anything I missed for pile number three? Wow, we have the Moose card and we have the Elk card, and we just had the Moose card on the Eight of Swords card, right? So the Moose reads wisdom. Let your head and your mind reach to the stars, yet keep your feet grounded on earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul. The ancestors speak through you, you know much. And moose are they're very strong, they're very sturdy, they're very majestic animals, they're very huge, but they're very swift. And you embody both these energies. You embody swiftness, but you also embody strength. And it's very difficult to embody both, but you can do it. So you will be able to navigate the most difficult terrain, and you will be very quick to even pivot whenever required. So don't underestimate your instincts. Really pay attention to what is being said to you in that time. You have to, the trick over here is to learn to be quiet enough so you can listen to your intuition. And even I'm not exempted from this. No matter how psychic you get, there will always be something a little more complex for you to comprehend and grasp. So the trick is, again, stillness. The more you're able to make yourself still, the easier it will be for you to decode what is being said to you. Even the signs, right? The elk reads nobility. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You're crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. So you really are this beautiful creature of the earth. And I feel a lot of y'all have felt as if you didn't belong here. But you need to realize that you wouldn't be here if you didn't belong here. And yes, growing up, things were difficult, but it's not the same anymore. And you have so much more autonomy now. So I think you really need to acknowledge that, and just acknowledge your own sheer power and strength and your ability to withstand anything that is really getting in your way. Because whatever you put your mind to over here, it is yours. Because even if you want to have a very worldly career, even if you don't want to be spiritual in this pile, I do feel you're a little spiritual because you're watching Tarot Yogi, obviously. But whatever you choose to do over here, pile number three, there is going to be that divine magic, there's going to be that divine spark in whatever you touch. You really have that ability to alchemize whatever you're doing, and you have this ability to even shift any sort of difficult situations to your benefit. So don't ever for a minute think that you're not loved, because you're very loved, very unconditionally, by your spirit guides, your ancestors, your animal spirits. And go out, be out in the nature. I think just traveling for you is going to be beneficial. So I think just follow your heart's calling. Wherever it is taking you, it is taking you for a deeper reason. So just go with it, and give it your all. There's nothing to hold on to. Like, you cannot hold on to anything anywhere. Everything is impermanent anywhere, pile number three. So please realize this, and live your best life, because you will be guided and you will be aided to do that. So what would you do if you didn't have any fear? Where would you go? That's the question. That's really the question for you, pile number three. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number threes. Again, it's a general reading. So please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video. Share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you.